Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Church of Edmonton. My name is Gordon Ritchie, and Karen Mills and I have the great pleasure of being the co-choir conductors of our church choir, Chorealis. We're also your service leaders this morning. Our minister, Reverend Rosemary Morrison, is away this morning, and we look forward to having her back next week. Now, our theme for the month of February is inclusion. So I'm going to start off by asking, has everyone said hello to everyone in the church? Let's take a moment, say hello to your neighbor, have a little wave to your neighbors that are across. I know there's some people that I have to meet, which I'll do at the end of the service. Now, we also have people that are with us online, and I know for a fact there's at least one person who's not feeling very well this morning and hopefully is staying at home and cozy and drinking some hot tea. So let's give a little wave to everybody online. And we want to make sure that they're feeling part of our community as well. So thank you. We are all joined together here as friends and family and members of this church on a journey towards truth and meaning in our lives. And in doing so, we come together into this place, celebrating who we are, celebrating the fact that we come from different places, that we have different beliefs, that we have our own traditions and values. And that's what makes us who we are as Unitarian Universalists. So for everyone who's here, for everyone who's online, for those who may be watching this service in the future, we welcome diversity. We welcome you, whoever you are, your race, your ability, who you love, how you identify. Know that you are welcome here in this place. Because we know very well that there are those throughout the course of Canadian history who have not felt included, who have not been included, who have not been welcomed. And we certainly think of the Indigenous peoples of Canada. And I offer you these words by Chief Wilton Littlechild. As Chief, I welcome you here to Treaty 6 territory. This land has been the traditional region for homelands of the Métis people of Alberta, the Inuit, the ancestral territory of the Cree, Dene, Blackfoot, Saulteaux, and Nakota Sioux people since time immemorial. The recognition of our history on this land is an act of reconciliation, and we honor those who walk with us. May it be so. I know there is one announcement this morning that I've been told about. I'd like to invite Jan up for her announcement.
Well, good morning. We are going to have in 2 weeks' time a spudtacular. That means that we're going to have baked potatoes with toppings of all kinds that you are going to sign up and bring, and and salads to go with it. And so I would invite you after the service today to sign up for these, and online if you're coming, give me a call. I'll put your name down too. So please join us 2 weeks from today for our special lunch. Instead of Soup Sunday, we've switched it up a bit. Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about the prelude that the choir is about to sing. This is going to be the hymn of the month. This is written by Christopher New. Christopher is one of the ministers at Southminster Steinhauer United Church here in Edmonton. We've sung some of his music in the past. And so I contacted Reverend Christopher New and mentioned that we are wanting to sing this tune and may we have permission to do so. And he said, knock yourself out. So, yeah, love the United Church ministers. They have a way with words. So thank you for Christopher for allowing us to share this music with you. So I'm going to ask that you have a really, really good listen, because next week we are all going to be singing this tune. So this is called Belonging by Reverend Christopher New.
These are the opening words. You are beloved, and you are welcome here. And the reading is by Joan Javier-Duval. You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether you are feeling brave or brokenhearted, defiant or defeated, fearsome or fearful.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether you have untold stories buried deep inside or stories that have been forced beyond the edges of comfort.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether you have made promises, broken promises, or are renewing your promises.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whatever is on your heart, however it is with your soul in this moment.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
In this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection, let us worship together.
Thank you, Jen and Jennifer. Well, we come the time to light our chalice this morning, and I've been told of two really lovely pieces of information and exciting news. We have a birthday boy here today who was the very first baby to be named, dedicated in the Unitarian Church of Edmonton. And I've also been informed that this same individual has just proposed to his lovely partner. And so I would like to invite up Lynn Evans to light our chalice this morning.
She said yes.
And she said yes, by the way. Well, thank you for that. That was even more important bit of information.
Asked her twice, and she says, I'm not ready.
He asked her twice and she wasn't ready.
Third time was the charm.
Third time was the charm. So there you go. So Lynn and I have some text, and I'll just have you wait just for a moment till I finish the text. Thank you. This text is in keeping with our inclusion theme. It's entitled The Pride Flame. It's by Linda Lee Franson. We light this flame to ignite our hearts and minds, the spark of knowledge that enlightens, the shimmer of hope that burns, the blazing love that engulfs our actions, the bonfire of our commitment. We light this flame for those who celebrate themselves, who fear, who hope, who persevere, who stand on the side of love for all. We light this flame for those who have been ridiculed, that they may find peace, for those who have fought to marry, that they may be celebrated, for those who live in uncertainty in the world, that they may have hope. We light this flame to renew our commitment that no one shall ever suffer for the right to love. We light this flame to celebrate our kaleidoscope of diversity, working, loving, and living on the side of love. For this, we light this flame. Thank you, Lynn. And our best wishes to you and Sandy. We're going to sing now. This is hymn number 90. No. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we have more singing to do. Now, talking about diversity and inclusion, we had to include this particular piece. It's a little piece that I wrote. And while I was writing it, I was focusing on these words. This is a flame of faith. It's a flame of compassion and strength, a flame welcoming all. And the person that I thought of while I was writing this was, of course, Ruth Patrick, who lit the chalice at my wedding with Robert. And what we want, excuse me a moment. And what we needed to do was to say thank you, not only to Ruth, but to this community of faith, of love, of trust, of justice. And so as soon as I get myself together, the choir will sing our Chalice Response, This Flame. So I think we're all going to sing now, as far as I can tell. This hymn is entitled, There Is More Love Somewhere. The text will be miraculously coming up on the screen behind me. For those of you at home online, the text should be coming up on your screen. We welcome you to sing along with us as well. So for those here in the sanctuary, I invite you to rise as you're willing and able as we sing together hymn number 95, There Is More Love Somewhere.
They teach us to read in black and white.
Truth is this. The rest is false.
You are whole, not broken.
Who you love is acceptable or not.
My life tells its truth in many hues.
We are taught to think in either ors.
I believe in the teachings of Jesus or Buddha.
I believe in human potential or a power beyond a single human will.
I am broken or I am powerful.
My life embraces multiple truths, speaks of both, of, and.
They teach us to see in absolutes.
Good versus evil.
Male versus female.
Old versus young. My vision sees the fractions, the spectrum, the margins.
Let us open our hearts to the complexity of our worlds.
Let us make our own lives a sanctuary to nurture our many identities.
The day is coming when they will know
That the rainbow world is more gorgeous than monochrome.
That a river of identities can ebb and flow over the static, stubborn rocks in its course.
that the margins hold the center.
With all those beautiful references to color, we thought this next hymn fit nicely and invite you to put your best Latino flair on as we sing hymn number 305, De Colores. We're not going to try the Spanish this morning. We're just going to do the English verses, but if you would like to think in Spanish, please do. Finish that song with an ole every time. Right now, we are going to take time to share our abundance. It's one of the practices of this community to grow in gratitude and in generosity, to not only support the work that we do as a community and the services that we receive, but to also help those outside of our walls. And so if I could have two ushers collect while they are taking our offering this morning. I'll just tell you a little bit about our charity of the month for February, and that is the CUC, which is the Canadian Unitarian Council. That's our national voice for our denomination. They provide services to all the congregations throughout Canada. They supply resource materials, training for both professional ministers and lay people. They train and run the lay chaplains program. And if you're not familiar, Marilyn Gay is our lay chaplain. She can perform weddings, different services to mark milestones in lives, and is just another way that we offer the teachings and knowledge of our Unitarian Universalism to the community. And they also have been very busy lately creating workshops and trainings talking about how, in what many people are seeing as a more and more polarized world, we can find common ground and have constructive, cordial, respectful conversations to reach that common ground rather than trying to be on either end of a spectrum. So they're doing great work, and thank you for your support of this community and of that work. And in celebration of that, let's now sing together, "From You I Receive."
Good morning. I invite you to join this morning in our responsive reading. It's "We Answer the Call of Love" by Julia Corbett Haymeyer. The words will appear on the screen. Great. And I'll read the bold text, and please respond with the italicized text. In the face of hate, we answer the call of love. In the face of exclusion, we answer the call of inclusion. In the face of homophobia, we answer the call of LGBTQ rights. In the face of racism, we answer the call of justice for all races. In the face of xenophobia, we answer the call of pluralism. In the face of misogyny, we answer the call of women's rights. In the face of religious intolerance, we answer the call of diversity. In the face of narrow nationalism, we answer the call of the global community. In the face of bigotry, we answer the call of open-mindedness. In the face of despair, we answer the call of hope. As Unitarian Universalists, we answer the call of love now more than ever.
I invite you to answer the call of love in song. Our hymn is titled exactly that, Answering the Call of Love. And please stand. It's a stander and a bit of a rocker. And so we will sing together, Answering the Call of Love.
By faith, we dare to proclaim, we are answering.
One way that we answer the call of love is through connection. And one way that we put that connection into action is by lighting candles. A tradition within our Unitarian faith. There are congregations all over the world that are lighting candles of connection, reflecting in our thoughts, our prayers, our concerns, our joys, our celebrations. For those of you who are with us online, I invite you to add your thoughts into the chat. For those here in the sanctuary, you're welcome to come forward to light a candle this morning. If you would, I invite you to come around the side here. We have our tapers here. If you wish, you can light your taper from the chalice and light your candle. So for whatever's on your heart, on your mind, your concerns, your joys, the sense of community, I invite you to come forward to light your candle now. These candles are part of our community. They represent many thoughts, prayers, and wishes. They also represent an opportunity, and that is an opportunity to connect to one another. Not saying that we have to or need to know what the candle is, but if anything, to approach someone possibly after the service and just to acknowledge that a candle has been lit. May we carry these joys, these concerns, and moments represented in these tiny candles in our hearts. And most importantly, may we know that we are not alone. May it be so. Blessed be.
I'm going to invite you to join me in another responsive reading now. I'll read the regular text if you read the bold. This is by Michael Deschlang. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. We believe in justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. We believe in acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregation. We believe in a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We believe in the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within the congregation and in society at large. We believe in the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. And we believe in respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. Thank you for joining me in that. If you didn't recognize them, the portions that I read were the original 7 principles of Unitarian Universalism. If you want a homework assignment, there's actually an 8th that's being added now, so I would invite you to explore that 8th principle and see if you can come up with a congregational response for it. Totally optional, of course. I'm going to take a minute now for a service leader reflection. Inclusion has been getting so much attention lately, not always in a good light, with things happening down south and the sort of wiping out of diversity, equity, and inclusion movements. But it's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. I work for Public School Board, and it's something that we've been focusing on. It's one of the core pieces of the strategic plan of the division. And just kind of looking at the world around me and trying to figure that out. And I think inclusion is a lot like many of the big ideas in life, like freedom and justice and ending poverty. We all know that they're good things to do and we should be doing something, but when you start to figure out what and where to start, it quickly becomes overwhelming. The challenges seem to be too big, they're so widespread, there's so many intertwined factors that cause, discrimination and poverty and homelessness, and it's really hard to know where to start. But as I've been thinking about that more and more, it's come to me that, as with most of the big things in life, the place to start is with me and doing some inner work. And, if we can change ourselves, which is really hard, it always amazes me that it's so easy to tell other people what to do, and I can't even get myself to do what I tell myself to do some of the time, a lot of the time, actually. If we could do that work ourselves and figure out our own blind spots and, maybe how to be a little kinder and a little more generous, then maybe we could tackle the world. So, I sort of had that idea in my head, and as often happens when I'm reflecting on things like this and getting ready to put a service together, pieces start dropping into my lap from the universe. And so this week I met a new author I had never encountered before, and remembered a book that I'd seen, and wanted to bring in a former chaplain of the United States Senate into this conversation, and even the Dalai Lama showed up. So I'm going to invite them all into this conversation. So first I'm going to go to Dr. Helen Turnbull to clarify the difference between inclusion and diversity, because those get interchanged a lot. And so I think it's important to be clear on what we're talking about and what that challenge is before we try and do anything with it. So Dr. Helen Turnbull wrote a book called The Illusion of Inclusion. And it's focused on diversity and inclusion in the workplace, but I think her ideas apply anywhere. And she observes that having a diverse workforce is no guarantee that the work environment is inclusive. And I think that's true anywhere, that having a diverse mix of people doesn't guarantee that everyone feels included. And so she goes on to say that the words diversity and inclusion are often used in the same sentence as though they are inextricably linked, but in fact, diversity is the mix, and inclusion is the effort that it takes to make that mix work. So she goes on to tell a story, and I love this story, it just clicked for me. She said, you might have the right ingredients to bake a cake, but that does not guarantee that that cake is going to be edible. Now, for reasons you might imagine, that sat well with me. There have been some flops in my baking life. And so she says, likewise, having a diverse group of people does not guarantee that you understand how to make that mix work and how to unlock its full potential. She goes on to say, if I hand you a carton of sugar, a bag of flour, a couple of eggs, and a stick of butter, you might intuitively figure out that you could bake a cake. On the other hand, they may stay in your mind as separate and disparate objects with no vision that a cake is possible. That might depend on your background, that might depend on your experience, probably depends on if you've ever made a cake before. She said then, if I hand you a box of unsalted black beans, 2 eggs, cocoa powder, coconut milk, and agave nectar, I suspect it would not be so intuitively obvious that you could make a chocolate cake. Then, if I handed you 2 ripe avocados, some more coconut water, unsweetened cocoa powder, and a bottle of vanilla essence, my guess is you would look at me pretty strangely and never be able to imagine that those ingredients would make a divine chocolate mousse that you could either eat spread over your black bean cake or on its own. These alternative recipes offer new and exciting possibilities for creative tasting and cooking, but only if we're open to allowing differences to flourish. Only if we're open to allowing ourselves to learn something new. What are we missing when we maintain the status quo? She also talks about unconscious bias, so that our own blind spots that we have, and how those make it so easy for us to remain completely unaware of how our actions might affect others. So until we start with ourselves and figure out our blind spots, we might actually be standing right in the way of the good work that we want to do. Okay, but say that we do our work, we uncover our blind spots, and we make ourselves as ready as we can for inclusion. The challenge is still really big. There are over 7,000 languages on Earth. There are at least that many different cultures, all of them with unwritten rules and norms and standards about what is and isn't acceptable. And if you've ever watched a movie with subtitles or tried to speak another language in a foreign country you're visiting, you know it can be exhausting. But guess what? You don't have to do it all solve the whole problem, and you don't have to do it for every person. You can take it a step at a time, a person at a time. As Edward Everett Hale, and he was the Unitarian minister who was also the chaplain of the United States Senate, which I didn't know, said, I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. So what is the something that we can do? Well, before I answer that, I'm going to invite one more person into this. This week I was reading Wired magazine, which a lot of people think is just kind of a computer techie magazine, but I actually find it to be an amazing world commentary magazine. They do incredible interviews with amazing people, and that was certainly the case with this article. I was introduced to a man who I think might have one of the greatest job titles in the world. His name is Jaron Lanier, and he is Microsoft's prime unifying scientist. I don't really know what that is, but it sounds really impressive. And he was writing about a concert that he performed in, so he's also a musician. He performed with a robot and a live concert pianist. He was playing the flute amongst other instruments. But he touched on the subject of artificial intelligence because they had used that to write some of the music and to program the robot that was playing. And he was talking about different people's reactions to it and noting that some people are really frightened about the potential of artificial intelligence and what it holds for the world. And to those people he said, humanity need not scream. AI is made of us. We can make it safe as long as we remember. And I think that's great advice for a lot of things. It's made of us, and we can make it safe as long as we remember that. We need to remember that at the root of it all, it is we, the people, that both create the challenges, but that hold the solutions. So when contemplating how society could overcome its fear of the unknown future of AI and its impact on the world, he said, I think the way out of this trap is for people to become smaller, to get in touch with the edge of mystery. Now that's not new advice. Getting in touch with nature, feeling part of something bigger, experiencing awe and wonder has been recommended from everybody from Socrates to Thoreau to the Beatles. And it's perfect fit for what we are wanting to do, to become more inclusive. So let's go back to Dr. Turnbull's question 2. What are we missing when we maintain the status quo? What if instead of being intimidated by so many languages and cultures, we were awed by the variety and the richness and the new perspectives that they bring? Maybe we could watch a foreign film or attend one of the many cultural festivals that are put on in our city. What if we got in touch with the edge of mystery that is otherness by simply having lunch at a restaurant that served a type of food we were unfamiliar with? Or going to a concert with musicians from another country? Just a hint, that's happening here on February 9th. What if we built up our inclusion muscles by reminding ourselves how difference has already enriched our lives? Maybe remember that time that you tried a new dish that you were a little leery of, but now it's a favorite. Or remember that coworker or that neighbor that was different from you and you stopped to talk to them just to be polite, but they're now a treasured friend. Or remember that book that you read that seemed so foreign at first, but then opened your mind to whole new perspectives and ideas. Or a trip that you took that changed your outlook on life. And also remember the first day at a new school or a new job or in a new community, how everything was so strange and just accomplishing the basics was so hard. Remember the times that you felt alone, and remember that relief and gratitude when somebody came over to talk to you or invited you into the conversation. Remember when someone showed you an unexpected kindness. And then remember how good it felt when you showed unexpected kindness to someone else. Then we can take those memories, our built-up muscles of empathy and kindness, and turn them into action. And it just so happens that Random Acts of Kindness Week starts on February 14th. So that gives us about 2 weeks to train. Our muscles built up, and then world, here we come. So to launch our inclusion training, I want to share a poem. In a truly inclusive fashion, it was written by millions of voices. How was that possible, you say? Well, on Friday, I was participating in a workshop on artificial intelligence, and I asked Gemini, Google's AI app, to write me a sonnet on the benefits to society of inclusion. I think the wisdom of all those voices came through, but see for yourself. When diverse voices rise and intertwine, A richer tapestry of thought we weave, where varied hues in vibrant patterns shine, an understanding we can all conceive. No single thread can make the fabric whole, but many strands create a bright fabric, where empathy and wisdom take control and shared experience guide us toward the light. Inclusion's gentle hand unlocks the door to innovation's boundless, fertile field, where different minds can knowledge freely pour and growth and progress are at last revealed. So let us celebrate our varied ways and build a world where everyone is praised. And when you think it's too hard and the challenge is too big, remember the Dalai Lama's words. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. I invite you now into a time of meditation. So if you are sitting in a chair, feel the chair's back supporting you, feet grounded on the floor, heart open to the world. Take a deeper breath. If you're laying down, feel grounded. Feel where you connect to the earth. I'm going to read some words. We'll have a moment of silence. And then Chorealis is going to sing a song, and we're going to invite you to participate if you choose in that song. There are actions. We'll do it a couple times. If you watch, you can join in at any point. Our words this morning are by Richard S. Gilbert, UU minister. The human race is a vast rainbow bursting into view of white and black, red, yellow, and brown. Yet all blood is red. The sky is blue, the earth brown, the night dark. In size and shape, we are a varied pattern of tall and short, slim and stout, elegant and plain. Yet for all, there are fingers to touch, hearts to break, eyes to cry, ears to hear, mouths to speak. In tongue, we are a tower of Babel, a great jumble of voice grasping for words, groping for ways to say love, peace, pity, and hope. Faiths compete, claiming the one way. Saviors abound, pointing to salvation. Not all can be right, not one. We are united only by our urge to search. Boundaries divide us, time drawn to mark our diversity. Maps charted to separate the human race from itself. Yet a mother's grief, a father's love, a child's happy cry, a musician's sound, an artist's stroke, batter the boundaries and shatter the walls. Strength and weakness, arrogance and humility, confidence and fear live together in one earth, reminding us that we share a common humanity. We are all more human than otherwise.
Closing words. Our work has just begun by Emily Richards. Our work here this morning is at an end, and yet our work has just begun. The work of holding one another and this community in love. The work of trusting that we are on the right path. The work of believing that what connects us is stronger than what separates us. The work of engaging in that which makes us whole. The work of deeper understanding and commitment. The work of letting go of that which does not serve us. The work of radical inclusion. The work of collective liberation. The work of this beloved community. A beloved community of which we are all part. A place where we are welcomed, respected, valued, and cherished. A place where we belong. Go in peace, amen, and blessed be.
We have another Gordon Ritchie tune for you. Then we'll have closing words, extinguish our flame, prelude, and then invite you all to join hands and form a circle-ish shape and sing Carry the Flame.
Can we
Lynn, I'll invite you up once more to extinguish our flame, please. These words are by Sara Eileen LaWall.
I'll get there.
Okay. Out of the flames of fear, we rise with courage of our deepest convictions to stand for justice, inclusion, and peace. Out of the flames of scrutiny, we rise to proclaim our faith with hope to heal a fractured and hurting world. Out of the flames of doubt, we rise to embrace the mystery, wonder, and awe of all there is and all there is yet to be. Out of the flames of hate, we rise with the force of love, love that celebrates our shared humanity. Out of the flames, we rise. Thank you. Postlude, which you are very welcome to clap along with, and then we'll sing Carry the Flame.
Together,